Hello, and welcome to the fifth round of the Spreewald Cup. And this time, for this event, there was a crazy number of people that participated. We were a total of 96 people. Usually the number oscillates between 60 and 70. And a lot of new people as well. So it meant that the track was really busy, and luckily the organizers decided to let everyone participate. They had to change the plan a bit. So instead of the usual three groups in qualifying and three groups for race one and race two, they had to split us in five groups of qualifying of like almost 20 people each, and then four groups for race one and race two of 24 drivers each. But it was still good that they let everyone participated. But that meant that to make things a bit faster, they decided to use the normal way around the track. So usually qualifying is counterclockwise, but now we're using this normal layout. And also for race two, instead of the chicane, they decided to just run the normal track. But yeah, so it was the first time ever that I was the first one out of the pits. So that's why I was trying to push immediately, and my outlap was also quite fast. But I had a few drivers faster than me. So you see here, one already overtook me, and that's going to happen later as well. But I wanted to try and get a clear track from the beginning. This didn't work. You see here I have other cars, so actually one of them really tapped me, so I said, okay, let's get out of the way. At least I let the faster ones go, and then before I catch up with the other drivers, I will be able to do my lap. Since there were a lot of new people, it was actually very trafficy, the qualifying, but I was able to run a clean lap, a couple of clean laps actually, and this is the fastest lap of the session. And this was actually my fastest lap ever around this track, I believe. So I felt really strong on this car. Also, I was in the first group of qualifying, so the first group of people that went out. That meant that the tires were not overheated already. But I was able to drive really nicely. Like you see here, for example, I'm able to keep a tighter line, not run wide. Same here, I was able to stay a lot on the left and then dive nicely to the right here. So I felt really comfortable on this car. I felt I was driving like at my best. And the final time is a 40.909. Really strong, as I said, was the fastest lap I've ever did. But for the rest of the session, I was able to put together a couple more laps, not faster than these ones, and also towards the end I was reaching a group of cars and even trying to build some space before launching myself for the lap. I ended up either making a mistake or finding another car around the track, so that meant I was not able to improve my time, but unexpectedly I ended up in Group A, P11, so P11 out of all the 96 drivers. It also because a lot of the usual fast drivers ended up in very chaotic qualifying sessions with a lot of new drivers, a lot of slow cars, and so they were not able to put together a nice lap. But yeah, nonetheless, really happy, very strong performance from my side, so very, very happy with that. So here we are for race one, and as I said, Group A, first time for me, and I'm actually feeling a bit anxious about it because I know I'm out of position. I know behind me there are cars which are usually faster than me, and I'm scared they're just gonna straight past me. And yeah, so I'm under pressure. I want to do great, but I know I'm not at that level, or at least this is my feeling going into this race. But yeah, first lap, we all got a pretty even getaway, and let's see, okay, here I lost a bit of momentum, but then here the car in front of me had actually a big slide, so I saw an opportunity. I tried to dive here, maybe it was a bit too ambitious, and yeah, I ended up bumping into the car. I apologize for this, but yeah, we are through, and another car also dives into the pit, so this leaves me with a lot of clean space in front of me, and probably someone pitted behind me because also behind me I have some clean space. And a lap later, I'm reaching these guys which are fighting among themselves. One of them goes into the pits, and there are these two that are fighting together. you see here they're in a big fight, and that's why I'm able to close in. And actually the guy in white got squished a bit. So here I have way more speed, so I also decided to attack him, but he resisted on the inside there, and I'm not able to really cut across and gain a position because here on the following corner he was on the inside. But yeah, let's see if at this point we can either pass him or push him to go forward. He's shaking his head. I hope he's not pissed at me for that maneuver, but at the other guy. But soon he will be pissed at me, and you see here why. So he was faster in corners, but my car is at a really strong straight line speed. So you see I started, you see also in the next lap, like I start so far back on the pit straight, you see here, and then I'm able to close in very fast. So what I'm about to do, I know is not what you should do. I know Marco will be, since he will watch this video, he's gonna be pissed. But at the end of this lap, I was able to be very close to him. So I decided to, you see here, I was very close, so I decided to give it a shot and see if I was able to pass him on the straight. And yeah, I know this is not what people usually do in Group A, and that's why they get pissed. And as I said, it's not an excuse, but because I knew about it, but it was the first time for me in Group A, so I wanted to give it a shot. It didn't work, we lost time, so yeah, I went to the pit and I learned my lesson. I saw it firsthand, so I probably won't do that ever again. But yeah, okay, so back to the race. I dived into the pits and then I come out behind these two cars, and let's see if I'm able to either close in them if they're fighting or if I lose ground. So actually I was able to stay with them. They were not really fighting, but they were following each other very closely. And then the guy in white went into the pits, and one other guy went out the pits. Luckily I was able to stay in front of him. A few laps later though, the car behind me who jumped me that I jumped at the pits, passed me. And yeah, so I wanted to try and see if at least I was able to stay close to him. And actually here is a funny situation. So he told me, okay, push me, and I said, okay, yes, I know, I'll push you. But then during the lap I lost some ground. Like he was definitely faster than me in the corners, and at the end of the lap, like I was very far away, and he just mimicked the same. He saw me, I was very far, and we also had the same reaction, saying, oh well, I'm sorry. And yeah, it was a funny situation. So moving on, a couple of laps later, I was actually able to keep about the same distance. But then another car went out in front of me in the pits, and it just split us. But I was not able to keep up with them. Like, they were definitely faster, and also another guy attacked me here. So I decided, okay, I'll go to the pits here. I was feeling I was losing a bit in this stage of the race. The car was sliding a lot on the way into the pits, and also here I was really close to the barriers on the right hand side. Luckily I didn't touch them. At least I didn't receive any penalties, so I guess I didn't touch them. But yeah, rejoining, and a big space in front of me and a comfortable space behind me too. And this was only 3 laps to the end. So at this point I just wanted to bring it home. And of course I couldn't make any progress in front, and I was really losing a bit of ground. But yeah, at the end I was a P14, so indeed I lost places as I was expecting, but not so many. Like, I was kind of able in different stages of the race to follow some cars. Some were definitely faster than me, also it depends from car to car. But yeah, so I was happily satisfied with my race. So moving to race 2, starting 3 positions further back than race 1, and the race is about to start now. And I think I got an okay getaway, but the car on the inside here got a better launch, and we basically were side by side through the entire first section of the cars. Then I was not as fast as in the last race on the straight with this car, but I was able to stay in front. but yeah, already lost a bit of ground to the cars in front. But yeah, everyone is so close, people are battling, so it's easy to lose and gain space here. And actually, coming at this corner was a big mess here, a few cars bumping into each other. So two of them spun, so I was able to pass them, and then another guy was a bit slow, so I gained 3 positions in this phase. So okay, happy that I was able to, glad I was able to pass without any damage or without losing time. And I'm behind the same guy I was behind last time, but you see here, this time the story is totally different. I'm able to follow him through the corners, but I'm not really able to push him in a straight. Like, my car this time was not that fast, but it was, I wouldn't say better, but it was, I was feeling better, let's say that, in the corners. Probably also because I was able to follow them way closer, so follow their lines, and yeah. So one cart already going into the pits, everything is going pretty smoothly this first couple of laps, besides the first incident, yeah. But jumping ahead a bit, I had a slow lap, I lost a bit of contact, and the car behind me was able to pass me. This also compromised me in the following corner, so the car even behind was able to attack me here. I was able here to retain the position, but fighting side by side here made us lose a lot of ground. So almost a second, but you see the gap here when we start lap 7, and by the end of the lap I was actually surprised I was able to gain a lot of that place, a lot of that space back. So actually that was a big boost of confidence, and that was also my fastest lap of the race. And by the end of the lap I was catching again this guy, so I decided, okay, I don't want to waste or get involved in any other fight, so I decided to go in the pits. No, still not perfect, the entry there. Okay, this way around actually not that good, but yeah, I'm rejoining in some good space, both in front and behind. But then just one lap later, this guy was the same I was behind at the beginning of the race, rejoined right in front of me, and this will basically be the view for the rest of the race. Because of basically a long train of cars ended up forming, we were all quite fast, and it was actually really cool to drive so close to each other. But you see, like, through the laps how this ended up forming. Like, a few cars ahead were fighting, then a few still had to go to the pits. Then some of the faster drivers, they ended up being behind us, and so there was this whole gap. Just here I made a small mistake. I tapped the wall and the car behind me bumped into me, but yeah, I apologize for that. But you see here another car rejoined. Luckily I was able to jump in here, and yeah, but you see here I was not that fast. Like, here I'm not touching the guy, like my foot was glued to the floor, but I was not able to push him. But yeah, you see already we're reaching another guy, so now the train in front of us is 4 cars. Another car here is joining, so there are 5 cars. And then behind me, I didn't remember exactly, I was not watching every lap. But at the end of the race, actually from position 6 to position 18, so there were 12 cars in the span of less than 5 seconds. And one of the cars here is actually still had to serve his pit, so he went to the pit box, but another one just joined again. So basically we're losing one car, but another one is joining back again. And at the beginning of the last lap, another car joined right in front of me. Here, luckily, there was still a gap on the right hand side, so I was able to squish there, and then the car behind me gave me a help, so I was able to pass him, and also the car behind ended up passing him, so we both jumped in. Yeah, because of this, the distances got a bit spread out. This was the very last lap, so imagine if this was not the case, we would have been even closer at the end. But yeah, no, it was fantastic, super cool to drive so close to each other, and I was very happy with my performance, that I was able to keep the rhythm of the other cars behind and around me. And in the end, I ended up in P11, so regaining the places I lost in race 1. So really strong weekend for me. Like I was feeling very confident with the card and be competitive in Group 1. So Group A. So summarizing the results, Quali was P11, race 1 was P14, but race 2 back to P11. So pretty good amount of points. And yeah, with that being said, hope you enjoyed it and see you for the next race.